All right, guys, just this morning, Ezekiel Elliott got pretty fired up on Twitter in a series of 5 tweets. He said, quote, "There are a lot of great backs in this league, but I don't understand why the media has to talk down on my game just to uplift other backs. We all are talented football players and can ball." He also added this, guys. "Check the stats. Since I entered this league, I have dominated year in, year out. Put some respect on my name." Fired up here. Shannon, what is going on?
Well, Skip, I think the thing is that people don't view Zeke anymore as the best back in football. And last year was the first time he didn't lead the league in average rush yards per game. The first 2 years, Skip, first 2 or 3 years, 2 of the first 3 years, he led the league in rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Had he not missed those 6 games, I believe it would have been a perfect 3 for 3.
But still in yards per game.
Still in yards per game.
Okay.
Zeke, what Zeke needs to understand is that this is what happens when you're a great back or you're a great player. They measure you by your previous greatness. And when they see drop-offs, they want to know why. And so, and I'm not one of those guys that believes Zeke is not a great back, that Zeke isn't the same back. Zeke is the exact same back. He just doesn't get the opportunities, and the offense is evolving. Dak throws more, they fall behind more, so therefore Zeke is less of an option. Skip, you can't run Zeke down by 21. You just can't. You can't run your way back into a ball game. You have to throw your way back into the game. So Zeke is not getting the touches. Zeke, I get it, but in TV, in this business, our job is to critique. Our job is to critique and analyze. Sometimes we have to offer harsh criticism of a said player. And it's not talking down on you. It's about highlighting. And when you look, and I've always said this, Skip, I don't look at Zeke as a breakaway back. I look at Zeke as a power back. There have been very few power backs, Skip, that had home run ability.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson had home run ability. Earl Campbell, Skip, you remember Earl. He could go 80. Even though at that size, he could go 80. That's not Zeke. We've seen Zeke have one big 80-yard run, Skip, and that came on a screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at Zeke as a 5 to 8 yard guy, and he'll get you a bunch of those. But I don't look at him as going the distance like a big Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a banging back that can go 80, 90. That's not Zeke's game. Zeke is okay. The likelihood of a running back staying on the top pedestal for 7, 8, 9 years, Skip, that's just unrealistic. That's just unrealistic. So Zeke, well, I guess you can take it personal and go out there and rush for 2,000 and say, nah, how you like me now? But I don't think Zeke is approaching this the right way. Because, Saquon is a very good back, and they're looking at Saquon's ability to make people miss and get the home run. Christian McCaffrey, what are we talking about, Skip? We're talking about a guy that went over 100 catches, had 1,000 catches, 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. Only 2 other guys had ever done that before. So, Zeke, if you are what you think you are and what you're saying that people play with your name, that's the thing I love about sports, Skip. I can prove it. I can prove me right, and in the process of proving me right, I can prove you wrong.
That is correct, and there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Nothing.
Except try to play defense, and I don't play defense.
Right.
So I can't sit in this chair and stop you from doing anything on the football field.
Not one thing.
If you're that guy, and I got to sit back and say, I give it up.
Right.
So my first question about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row tweets. What flipped his switch? Where did this come from?
I have no idea.
It's not like nobody's been talking about Zeke having an off year, having the worst year of the 4 that he's played in the National Football League.
That was going on all season.
All season. And it's been a fairly constant theme through the offseason. And just me, right here, right now, I'm still mourning my quarterback not getting a long-term deal. And it would seem like Zeke could have a little respect for, well, seriously, a little respect for what just happened. If he were tweeting support of his man, Dak Prescott, they done him wrong, whatever he wants to tweet, I'm all in.
You know what this is about, Skip? You know what this is really about? That damn Madden rating. I don't know what
it could be, but that really gets him. That sticks in the craw.
Like, you're actually that. I get it's just it's giving guys get upset.
Even rookies, CeeDee Lamb's upset, and he hasn't played it down yet.
Jerry Jeudy's
They gave him a 75. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy walked off an interview with the Madden guy who ranked him low.
And who else? Some receiver, another guy got upset.
Yeah.
Oh, Deshaun.
Ooh.
I was like, Skip, I'm like, dude, it's It's just the rating. But everybody wants to be not. Everybody
Was that it?
99.
Is that what happened?
It's got to be, Skip. It's got to be, because if I'm not mistaken, he was, as far as stiff arms, he wasn't even on the stiff arm rating. And I think Saquon was ranked higher than he was, and Christian McCaffrey was ranked higher than he was. Maybe Chubb. So these guys taking this Madden thing too far, Skip. They really are.
And I remind you, ESPN just came out with its rankings of, after interviewing a lot of personnel directors and players, remember, coaches, and they ranked the top 10 running backs. And one evaluator said, I wouldn't even put him in my top 10 because he's about 60 to 70% of what he is, what he used to be.
And Zeke responded to that, remember?
He did.
He said, that guy must be faded.
He must be faded. Okay. So, Zeke, I love you, man. I still got your picture on my little nightstand. But the truth is, the third tweet is, and I've heard this from my partner across the table, women lie, men lie, stats don't.
Right.
Okay, let's look at the stats. How about it? Let's look at, for each of the first 4 years in the league, your yards per game have dropped.
Right.
And they dropped precipitously last year to 85.
Yes.
What's my favorite stat, or when it comes to Zeke, least favorite? What have I told you? if you throw back at me, well, they became a passing football team, or they were forced to throw too much because they fell behind. Here's the stat that disqualifies that notion. On first down, Ezekiel Elliott had the second most carries in the National Football League. On first down, he had the 19th worst yards per carry on first down. Do the math. Second most carries, 19th in yards per carry on first down. Well, that means they kept handing it and handing it and handing it, and you kept going 0, -1, 1, -1, 0, -1. And I'm sitting in my little man cave just up the street from here, and I'm doing this. I'm falling off my chair. I'm falling on the floor. Zeke, come on. And again, no creativity, because Jason Garrett believed in Ezekiel Elliott. He just said he makes his own holes. Let's not trick it up. Let's just say there's no Kyle Shanahan going on here. There's no misdirection, sleight of handoff, right?
In other words, you said there's no creativity in their run game.
Not at all. They're just saying, here, go. Just pick your own hole. They used to do that with Emmitt Smith.
Right.
North Turner used to tell me, he doesn't like a play call. He doesn't like to have to hit the 5 hole, the 3 hole, whatever hole. Just give him the ball. So they started calling plays in the huddle for Emmitt. Emmitt right on a handoff, or Emmitt left on a handoff, or Emmitt toss right or toss left. But no more holes, because he runs to daylight. It's his gift of just
running behind those hogs.
Yeah, the big old hogs.
He saw a lot of daylight.
But Emmitt at 5'9", you couldn't find him for a while. And once you found him, it was too late, and he was 8 yards. Okay.
But Skip, I don't get it. I mean, and why now? I mean, people have been critiquing you, Zeke, saying you're not showing the burst that we saw at Ohio State, that you ran 4.4 at the combine, but you don't project, you don't run 4.4s.
And remember the stat from last year, only 4 20-plus yard runs. And remember this, speaking of stats, this is a fact. He had a 32-yard run at Chicago on that Thursday night while the game was still hanging in the balance late second quarter. And then he had a 4-yard run. And then I'm thinking, take it home. Eric Dickerson we had on the other day, I think the greatest running back ever. And Eric's saying, I'm give me the damn ball, right? And what did Zeke do at that point?
Zeke?
I need out.
He went out.
I need a rest here. What?
Well, Skip, and also what Zeke has to understand is that they still view Zeke as the engine that drives this offense. So they really gear up to try to, especially on first down, because they're basically saying, we want the ball in Dak's hand. We do not want 21 to run us at the ground, because that's what happened in his rookie year.
Okay, were they too predictable?
Yes.
First and 10, 21's getting the ball. Right up the gut.
And there's a look, let's shut him down. Let's make it 2nd and 10. Let's make it 2nd and 9. So we know they're going to throw it.
Okay. And remember this, as they morphed into a passing team, especially within games and second halves because they were trailing, do you realize Zeke's catches fell precipitously last year? I don't know why. He doesn't have the greatest hands, but once he catches it, he can do some damage.
Skip, they had Pollard. And Randall Cobb got a lot of catches, because this was the first year, Skip, they really had, I mean, Randall Cobb, I like Measly Beasley, but he was an upgrade over Cole Beasley.
I thought so.
And so Gallup came along.
He did.
So now his production is up. You got Amari, going to be Amari. He's the number one, so he's going to get a lot of targets.
Yep.
Randall Cobb, and then you splitting the third down plays with Pollard.
And by the way, I said Zeke doesn't have great hands. Every once in a while, he makes a great catch.
Right.
But the routine one, sometimes he's looking upfield and he doesn't have.
But we're not looking at him as a pass-catching back like we look at Christian McCaffrey, we look at Kamara, like we look at some of these other guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield. I think Saquon does a great job of catching the football.
Okay, so I'm going to give Zeke this. He actually underperformed or looked more overpaid, less than DeMarcus Lawrence and Amari last year, even maybe Jalen Smith.
Right.
He underperformed less than those guys did. He was not bad. He didn't quite live up to the money he got, which was $90 million over 5 years. When I expected him to explode, he did not. But I love what he said in his last tweet. The last one is, I do appreciate the standards you guys hold me to.
No, you don't.
Well,
because that's why you tweeted 5 times.
Okay.